Good morning, students. Welcome to your computer class. In the previous class, we had discussed about email, that what is email, what are the different methods by which we can send our messages in times before, means in the earlier times, number around 15 and 88 AD. Also, we have seen messages and instant messages by wire, by pigeon, by runner, or by fire. These are the methods and advantages of email also we had discussed. Now today we will be discussing about email versus ordinary post and different email programs, email account, email address. Then we will be discussing on parts of an email address and for selecting an email address. These are the different topics which we are going to discuss today. So without wasting the time, coming to the textbook, as you have seen the advantages of email. Email, as you know, that it is a very fast communication technology that we are using nowadays. Email system is almost universal because anyone who has access to the internet has an email address. If you are accessing your internet, that means you are having your email ID, because without email address or email ID you can't send the mail to any person. Email is extremely fast. You can receive a message within a second, okay, after it has been sent. So irrespective the geographic location of the sender and the recipient, you cannot find a better medium than an email. Next point is email is a convenient. Okay, why it is convenient? Because you can send messages anytime during the day, or your recipient does not need to be at his her computer or even connected to the internet. You can send a message to a group of people free of cost, means it is cost effective also, quickly and easily. You can send documents, graphics, sound files, or any file as an attachment along with your email. Email is very economical because you do not have to pay to send messages. Okay, no matter where in the world you send them, means in the world you can send anywhere messages and you don't have to pay much for that. Email can also save your money because you can send messages instead of placing a long distance phone call, because as you know, earlier when we do the phone calls, it cost very much for doing a SD calls or STD calls. But instead of that, if you are using a mail system, then you can send messages around the world in a very cheapest method. Okay, sending messages and take a very less time. This is the main reason that each year the number of email users are increasing. Okay, now next, email versus ordinary post. What is the difference between both? You can exchange electronic mail with people around the world. Now let us take an example to compare the process of sending a message via email with sending a letter by post. Okay, the post is also there and email process is also there. So think which one is better. So email. Switch on the computer, log into your email ID, just type the mail address, compose your message, means type your message whatever you want to type and press the send button. This is the process which you will be using. Okay, now next, sending a letter by an ordinary post. What happened then? First, get a headed note paper, find an envelope, go to the post office to buy the stamps and print off the letter. Put it in an envelope and go to the post box to drop the letter. So this is the process of sending a message through a post. First you need a headed note paper, then you are finding an envelope, then you are going to the post office for buying a stamp and print off the letter, then again putting into an envelope and again going to the post box to drop the letter. But as you compare this one, just sitting at home, log into your email ID, type the email address and compose your message and press send. So simple mail could take 3 or 4 days or more to be delivered. Okay, if you are sending by post, it can take 3 or 4 or more than that days according to the what? The mail transfer system which the post office are using. Whereas if you see the email would be delivered in seconds or a minute. If you send anything to other place, just call them, send. Have you received? Yes, in a second the person received it. So this is the difference between post and email. Okay. Now email program. You can create, send, receive, manage an email message. Means you can create also, send also, receive also, and manage also email messages by using different programs like Windows Mail, Outlook, Hotmail, and Gmail. Okay, generally people are using Gmail more. Okay, it is common to all the people. Hotmail, Outlook, Windows Mail. So Windows Mail, Outlook, Hotmail, and Gmail. The message can be simple text or can include an attachment such as word processing document, graphical image, an audio or video clip. These things you can attach with your document, means with the email, and can send to the other people. Okay, so you can see different programs here: Windows Mail, Gmail, and Hotmail. These three are common which we are using nowadays. Ray Tomlinson. Ray Tomlinson created as being the first person to send email message on a network. So remember this name. Ray Tomlinson is a credited as being the first person to send the email message on a network. Some early email systems required that the sender and the recipient both to be online at the same time. Today's email systems are based on store and forward model. I hope this will be clear to you all. Now coming to email account and email address. Okay, the two things. Email account. You must have an email account to use email services. Email account is provided by the companies which provide email services like yahoo.com, gmail.com. These companies provide you the email account. When you reach to this companies, means to the website, they tell you to create a ID or email address. So yahoo.com or gmail.com, etc. many more are there. Hotmail is also there. The account gives you a unique email address to which the others can send messages. They provide you an account which you can use in your use, that other people want to send you some messages or some attachments. You just provide them this account ID and they will send on this address. Like if you are having abc@gmail.com, so if a person wants to send you a mail, message, text, audio, video, he will ask about your ID. So you provide abc@gmail.com, it's my ID, and the person will send that document to your email ID. So every email account comes with its own email address. Okay, every account has its own unique email address. An email address is a set of characters that uniquely identifies the location of your internet mailbox. So email address consists of a set of characters and that uniquely identifies location of your internet mailbox. Okay, so this is email account. Now email address. You can send email messages anywhere around the world if you have an email address. Okay. So when you have created your account, you get an ID, you get an address. All email users have their own unique email address. It can't be same. Okay. Two persons cannot have a same email address. The messages are sent to the correct recipient because of the uniqueness of the address. Because if same address is there, then there will be a problem. That's why the company is providing a To each and every person, they are providing a unique address so that each message should send to each person on their unique addresses. Now, if you have known about this, about email address and email account, so coming to the parts of an email, parts of an email address. Email address is a combination of a username and a domain name that identifies the user so that he or she can receive messages. Remember this. Email address is a combination of username like ABC and a domain name. At the rate gmail.com is a domain name. The user so that he or she can receive messages. Your username is a unique combination of characters that identifies you, and it must differ from other usernames located on the same mail server. Means you cannot have a same name which others have made for their ID. Okay, so username is unique. Your username is sometimes limited to 8 characters and is often a combination of first letter last names, such as initial of your first name plus your last name. Okay, remember these things. Nowadays it asks, so combination of your first letter and last name, initial of your first name and plus your last name, like you have made capital A, okay, then again small a, then T, then T, then U, and then L. This can be there. Or I have made A 9, then T 4, then U, L 1, 2. Like this, you can just make your ID's name. Okay. Domain name. Domain is separated into two parts by a period, means dot. The first part is the name of the service provider, that is such as Yahoo, Gmail. Okay, these are the service provider. And the second part depicts the type of website. For example, .com means commercial, .gov means government. Okay, so you will be able to see that two parts by a period. Okay, so the first part is the name of the service provider, Gmail, Yahoo, any other company is providing. If they are providing the service, then that company's name. And the second part have the type of website, commercial, organization, or government, etc. The username and domain name are separated by the @ symbol, which means at. So these both are separated with @ symbol. Like as you can see, the example over here it is given. Okay, minhasdas@gmail.com. So this is the username. Okay, this is @ which is separated, which is used to separate, and the domain name. Okay, an email address cannot use commas, spaces, or brackets. Remember this thing. You cannot have a space, comma, or brackets. Instead, hyphen and underscore can be used. Hyphen or underscore you can use. So these are the parts of email. Now selecting an email address. While creating an email account, the server will let you choose username. Your username should be unique and has to be the name that hasn't already been chosen by anyone else. Okay, that name that anyone has not chosen. If anyone having that name, you can't have the same name. Okay, so it is recommended that you use a combination of letters and numbers in the username, like capital A 9, small a, then another XYZ. You can use anyone, but combination of letters and numbers is perfect, and your username as well as your password should be strong. For example, username Tanya Minaz, whose server has domain name hotmail.com, might select T_Minaz like this as her username. If hotmail.com already has T Minaj, then for Tina Minaj, then Tanya will have to select different username such as Tanya Minaj, Tanya underscore Minaj. So many users selects a combination of the first and the last name so that other can remember easily. Because if you have a username in your means name in your username or ID, it will be easy to remember for others also. So simple, but not the same as like others. Okay, so for selecting an email address, this much only you have to know. I hope you all are getting it what I am saying. If any problem regarding this, you can just have a queries in the online classes. Now next one is your how an email travels. Okay, so the computers have to be linked together so that email message can travel. So it should be linked to one another, otherwise channel will not be there. So how the message will travel? An email message is typed by the sender on his or computer. We are sitting on our system and we are just typing our message on the system. The message has an address so that it can be sent directly to the correct address. We will mention the address of the recipient. Now the message is sent to a server which is connected to the internet. So firstly from your system the message went to the server, okay, which is connected to the internet. Now third thing is it is received by the server. Now next the server does what? The email is then sent to a router by the server. So server sends the message to the router. The router sends the message to another router, and routers are connected to each other by a telephone lines cables. Okay, so remember the routers are connected to each other by telephone lines and cables. The message is sent from one router to another until it reaches to the correct one. Okay, this is the process. These are the routers connected each other till it is reached to the correct one. It is sent from one router to other, from other to another. Now next the email is finally passed by the router to the server. Again when it reaches to the correct router, then the router sends the message again to the server. Okay, and at last server reads the address, okay, and passes the mail to the correct computer. That's why address is compulsory. The server reads the address and sends to that address the document. Sometimes router are too busy or not working. In such cases the email messages are sent via other working routers. Okay, if they are busy then they are sent with other routers used. Just like a helping hand. Sabir Bhatia from India invented Hotmail. So who invented the Hotmail? So remember this, Sabir Bhatia invented the Hotmail. Yahoo was founded by Jerry Yang and David Filo, January 1994. In January 1994, Yahoo was founded by Jerry Yang and David Filo and was incorporated on March 1995. 1994 is what founded, and on March 1 it has been incorporated. And Gmail was announced to be used by the public by Google on 1st April 2004. Okay, for the public it has came on 2004 1st April Gmail account. Now how computer exchange information. This is also a very interesting topic. Like have you seen how email travels, then how computer exchange informations. You need to have a set of rules like protocol. Protocol is what? Set of rules which determines how the information is to be sent. In the protocol, like we are having the rules and regulations, the computer also having some rules and regulations which determine how the information is to be sent. Internet protocol is the most important protocol used on the internet. It specifies that the information sent between computers, server, router must be broken down into packets of data. Okay, so whatever information we are sending on the internet, it is or sent between the computers, servers, and routers, it must be broken into packets of data. What are packets? Now discuss. Yes, if they are sending in a form of packets, then what are packets? So packets are the small chunks which are broken by the internet while sending email messages from one computer to another. So packets are the small chunks. Okay, these are just like this, the packets were there. Here see the packets. Okay, this is the small chunks, okay, which is make a whole packet. Okay, so broken by the internet. Okay, these are broken by the internet while sending the email message from one computer to another. Each packet contains the address of the destination computer. So each packet is having the address of the destination computer. The messages are put back together to form the email message when the message reaches the designated computer. Okay, now next topic is parts of email message. Okay, so what other parts the email message is containing? Let's see that. While sending or receiving an email, you should understand several parts of message like from, to, CC, BCC, subject. Okay, these are the things. First one is from. From a person who is sending the email message, her email address is written in this section. Okay, means if I am sending the message, then my address is written in this section from. Okay, the person who is sending the email message, and to the person who is receiving or shall be receiving the email message should be written in this section. Means from abc@gmail.com is your email address, and the person whom you are sending the email message will be written in to. Okay, the address will be written in to. Now next one is CC, carbon copy. CC stands for carbon copy. It is an exact copy of the message. Whatever you have written, it has the exact copy of your means the message. The email address of a person who is not directly involved, but you would like the message to be sent to him, to his email address is written in this section. Okay, if you want that a person which is not involved in it was, then also you want to send that message to that person, you will write the address in the CC block. Now BCC means blind carbon copy. You can take the help of BCC if you want to send the same message to several people without showing them that others also received the same message. See, if you want that I will send the message, okay, about the mistakes of your friends to your teacher. Okay, so your teachers are getting, but you also want that principal ma'am knows about it, but other teachers doesn't know that principal ma'am is knowing about that. So you just write the address, okay, of the principal ma'am, means email address, on where BCC and others on CC, so that others will not be able to know that principal ma'am is also know about this email. Okay, that is blind carbon copy, and they will also receive the same message which ma'am received, but without showing them that others have also received the same thing. Subject, very short description of your message is written in this section. Okay, as you write a letter in your copy, then also only a short description of your message is written in a subject. For example, if you are sending a resume by an email, you can write resume in the subject section. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Features of email program. What are the features of email program? So let's see. New, reply to all, forward, send, receive, and then cross and that's print. New. Clicking this button allows you to write a new email message to someone. As you can see now, it has changed into compose. Now the Gmail having a compose button. Okay, so whenever you want to send email message, you will click on compose. In earlier there was new. So clicking the button allows you to write a new email message. Now reply. This button will allow you to send a reply to someone who has sent you an email. If someone has sent you an email, if you want to reply that email, just click on reply. Reply to all. Sometimes you will receive an email of which you are not the only recipient. Pressing this button allows you to reply to all email addresses from that email. Means if the message is sent to you by some person and had been sent it to other person also and they were asking also something. So when you want to reply, not a single person, you want to reply to all, then you have to click reply to all in the email box. Then your answer or the suggestion or whatever you want to say will be received by every person who are all connected to that. Okay. Forward. This button will help you to forward a message that you have received to someone else. Send and receive. Pressing this button will serve two functions. It will query your mail server. Okay, the first thing is that it will query your mail server and receive any new email that might be waiting for you, and it will send pending message if any that you have to authorize to your email server. Delete button already know for deleting. Print already you know for printing. Sometimes you might want to keep a copy of the email message, then in such case the button allows you to take the print out. Your system is connected to the printer. Okay, so these are the features of your email program. Sending and receiving email message. Receiving an email message. You can receive an email message even when your computer is not turned on. Okay, if you have not turned on your computer, then also you can receive your message because it's on the internet. The server sends to the address, and when you enter your email ID and log in, then it will show you. So that doesn't mean that your computer is switched off, then you can't receive the message. You will receive the message. Okay, but when you on your system, then only you can see it. Your email service provider stores the message you receive in the mailbox. When you check new messages, you are in fact checking for new mailbox on the service provider computer. That means that you can check your message even when you are moving from one place to another. So you can also check your email messages, but if you are not online or offline, your system is shut down, then also you will receive the message and server will keep it with himself. And you come online and search for the new message, it will show. Sending an email, you can send messages to exchange ideas or request for information. You can also reply forward a mail that you receive or exchange ideas. While sending an email, your message should be in such a way that it should be convey what you exactly want to say. For this, you will have to compose your message in a concise and meaningful way. Whatever message you are sending, it should be clear, okay, to the point, and whatever subject you have written related to that. Okay. So for that, you have to compose your message in a concise and meaningful way. Now for extending your knowledge, let's see. Some email service providers allow you to use comma between the email addresses to indicate there is more than one email. Okay. Yes, of course, after writing your email ID, you can put comma and write another's email ID also if you want to send the same message to the persons which are more than the number of persons. Okay. Some email service providers allow semicolon between the mail addresses to indicate there is more than one email address. You can also use the address book to choose if you want to send the recipient via mail via to CC or PCC field. So these are about sending an email message. Now, in the next class, we will be discussing common email terms like writing style, similes, abbreviations, shouting, bounced message, signature, attachment, and creating an email account in Gmail, sending and receiving email in Gmail, email etiquettes, what are the etiquettes of email, and then we'll come to the self evaluation. Okay, so hope you have got all the answers. Okay, means till what now till now what you have read and I had explained, it will be helpful to you. Read once again. Okay, then only you will be able to know much more. Thank you. Jai Hind.